boy, my favorite seat.
Steamboat Willie has entered the public domain, and with it, the earliest version of Mickey Mouse.
And now that the mouse has escaped copyright purgatory, things are going exactly how you would expect it to.
Now, to be fair, the internet has been ruining Mickey Mouse for years now. But now it's legal.
Hello everyone, I am Detective Mio.
And I'm Inspector Keto, and it's been a long road getting here, as Disney's been fighting tooth and nail to keep their grubby little hands on the copyright for Mickey Mouse.
Now to be a little bit more clear, it's Steamboat Willie that has entered the public domain, the animated short, featuring Mickey Mouse. So, in a way, that version of Mickey Mouse is now in the public domain, but not really, because it's just the short.
Huh?
In general, it's very complicated. If you want legal advice, I would suggest going to another video.
But legal shenanigans didn't stop some people from charging in gung-ho and making horror versions of the character. And the first one we'll be talking about is the game, Infestation Origins.
Oh boy, my favorite seat. Excuse me, do you mind?
This game is under development by Nightmare Forge Games, and just taking a look at the website, this thing looks shoddy as heck.
But crappy website design aside, according to Vice, this game might be a giant asset flip. An asset flip is basically a term used for games that use a bunch of pre-purchased assets and demo packs and then throw them together, while barely changing anything about the original assets themselves.
Afterwards, they just toss that sucker on Steam and make a bit of money. Of course, this doesn't mean that buying assets for your game is bad or anything. It's just, you should make an actual game. And the voiceover in the trailer was created using AI. Depending on what you feel about that, that might be a negative.
So the game might be kind of scummy, but AI and asset flipping isn't necessarily as bad as being a Nazi.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
Yes, the original title of the game was Infestation 88. Apparently, 88 means HH, and HH means Hail Adolf you-know-who. Now, I don't think we'd get censored for saying the last name, but currently we're on bad terms with YouTube, so I'm gonna be careful.
After Nightmare Forges realized what 88 meant, they changed the title to Origins instead. Now, to be fair, I didn't know what 88 meant either before we actually looked it up. So they have some kind of plausible deniability. But even still, people are still calling them white supremacists on Twitter.
Nazi! 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 Nazi!
Which doesn't seem quite fair.
What if this game just had Nazis as the bad guys, or involved something dealing with World War II? I don't think that makes you a neo-Nazi, necessarily.
According to them, the reason they chose the number 88 is because the game takes place in the year 1988, and they want to be like nice and symmetrical and stuff.
I gotta tell you, it was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
So basically, just the same thing as Fallout 76. Nothing to get worked up over, guys. Nothing to see here.
But enough of the drama, let's look at the trailer itself. Firstly, a very nice disclaimer to cover their butts.
Hey there, thanks for coming out. We've got a bit of an infestation here at the storage facility.
What? Pause.
The font looks a little plain.
Results, but things have escalated.
What the rat doing?
This scene's kind of cool, I guess. Well, that was the trailer.
It looks like one of the games of all time. Not necessarily something that I'm really interested in, and certainly not invested in, but who knows, maybe it'll be good, assuming of course it even releases.
I'll simply make the observation, as a non-gamer over here, the trailers I usually see for games include the very best parts of the gameplay, or cutscenes and things like that to make it look all cinematic and all that, and this really didn't look that good. It looked pretty cheap, and if this is the best they have to offer, I don't know about the actual game.
But we hope for the best.
Hey, it's multiplayer, maybe it'll be like Lethal Company or something. But on to the next subject, horror movies.
Oh boy, my favorite seat.
Before the public domain dust could settle, a trailer for Mickey's Mousetrap had dropped.
This is all reminiscent to how things went with Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. And similar to Blood and Honey, this is a slasher film, but this is a slasher comedy film.
The movie got a lot of press for being the first of its kind. Yay!
Now, we didn't watch Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. We instead just watched the trailer and then read some reviews online, and that was enough for me.
But let's go into this with an open mind and react to the trailer.
These are the best party that we can throw.
Right off the bat, this project looks rather predictable.
I'm seen some rejections in my time, but man, that was overwatch. Man, that was overwatch.
Why is the audio mixing so bad?
There's blood all over the jungle gym.
Blood.
Yes. Yes.
Acting.
Unfortunately, this may or may not be the best acting we get in the film.
And he's dead.
What?
Like if he was in a horror movie, you'd never say, I'll be right back. Because then you don't.
The movie is self-aware. God help us all.
Man, listen to those footsteps.
Mickey looks kind of short and scuffed.
Well, that was about as expected.
Or maybe less actually, because it's going to be a comedy slasher, yet there's not much comedy to it.
Seemed very generic.
My disappointment is immeasurable.
Yes.
And my day is ruined.
I don't know. I don't care. The film doesn't seem to involve too many, big names. It has this guy who's cinematographer who's now directing, and this guy who's in Fubar, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he's also in The Witcher Season 3. So that's all the star power this movie has, I think. Excluding Mickey.
But this isn't the only Mickey Mouse horror film. No, no, no! There's another one being created by the same person who made The Mean One, a Grinch parody slasher film. And this is also going to be a parody slasher film, similar to the last one we looked at. But maybe this one will be good. Or maybe it won't. So far, a lot of what we've covered have been people creating pretty cheap or uncreative projects surrounding making Mickey Mouse horror. They immediately always go with the lazy, oh, it's a slasher, he's killing people.
Or I guess you could argue they're a little more creative by adding Nazis.
But that doesn't always have to be the case. It can be done relatively well.
And one such example is already on YouTube with 71,000 views. The Vanishing of S.S. Willie by Night Signal Entertainment.
It's technically an analog horror, but it's not marketed as such.
The film basically kind of embellishes on the ideas of the original short that featured...
It recontextualizes the events of the last scene of Steamboat Willie, as well as adding some extra horror elements. The way the story is set up is pretty interesting and actually pretty unique.
They actually spent some time being somewhat creative with this whole thing, so I really do appreciate the work they put into it.
It's definitely a bit of a creepy one, so if you're not into that, I don't suggest watching it.
But overall, we thought it was okay.
It's not like a big brain concept, but, it's handled pretty well. Link in the description.
But these are the biggest cases of the internet messing around with Steamboat Willie, but assuredly, they aren't through with Mickey yet.
People have been doing various things, such as creating meme edits of the original short, just reposting the entire short, which is difficult at the moment because Disney is still copyright claiming the audio from the short.
Something that we ourselves experienced.
And there are a couple of teasers for some more Mickey Mouse analog horrors, one of which by Unknowingly, who you might know from The Man in the Suit. This is just a quick video to highlight some of the weird or more interesting aspects of what people have been doing with Mickey since he's become public domain, or Steamboat Willie's become public domain. And we just had to get something out because we haven't uploaded in a while, because our boiler room flooded.
On Christmas Eve, no less, which really sucks, but one thing that we're all thankful for is the massive growth in subscribers that we have gotten, thanks to all of you guys.
In the beginning of 2023, we had less than 700 subscribers, and by the end, we were at 12,000. Big growth.
And while we have a bit of imposter syndrome because most of the subscribers came from a short about Godzilla, we're still extremely thankful.
Whether you're here from shorts or long-form content, we're happy to have you. And we'll be continuing to work more on long-form content so we can bump up the views on those, and hopefully we'll make some videos that you will find genuinely interesting.
Like our next video talking about Godzilla analog horror.
Our first video did pretty well, so hopefully you'll like this next one.
But until that video comes out, he's Mia.
And he's Keto.
And we hope that you have a blessed day.
Bye!